Hello, everyone. I'm Phil, and welcome to the What Do You Have to Say podcast. This we host me and my cousin, and this is a free space, free thinking space where you can come in. If you have something to say, please join us. Today, we are talking about Finding the Man in the Mirror, the Michael Jackson biopic, just our reactions to it. If you haven't seen it, hopefully we won't give you away too much, but come on in and join us.
In here, keep those feet still, my man.
Wow. How you doing,
Hello.
Uriah?
I
Hey.
am doing good and I'm
I
ready
am
for
too.
this.
I am ready for
Finding the
this.
man in the mirror.
Oh man.
We was just talking about that. Man
Exactly.
in the mirror.
Right.
Right?
We were. How powerful that is. Just get a chance to give our reaction and our opinions
Mhm.
about this Michael Jackson biopic. I'm just elated today because if you have not seen it, you need to go.
I think you
And,
need to go.
You need to go for yourself. I mean,
Mhm.
I haven't listened to any of the commentary about it, but I was just blown away by the whole thing. By the
The
whole
whole thing.
yes.
Philip, can I say that I actually am quite embarrassed that I allowed, I've like many of us, I'm on YouTube quite a bit, and there are a couple of
Uh-huh.
shows I follow that talk
Uh-huh.
about movies and TV. And
Mhm.
one of them were like, I don't know about it. I just saw it. And I had my ticket since the beginning of April.
Okay.
I had my ticket since the beginning of April. And when I
Uh-huh.
heard Lukewarm, I was supposed to go Thursday at 12 p.m. and I didn't go because I didn't want, they sort of yucked my yum. And I
Uh-huh.
didn't want to be disappointed. So I didn't go.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did that.
Oh man. People get in your ear
Yeah.
and try to tell you how to feel and how
Yeah.
you should respond to things,
Yeah.
and you have to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And I went yesterday, and I was just floored by the expertise in that movie. I mean, we're going to go through several things, but just the visuals of it, the characters, the storytelling,
Visuals.
the everything was
Everything.
on point.
And you
And
text me,
it, I was like, man, you need to
and
go.
I said, I bought my ticket right there, and I went last night.
I was like, whoo, that was quick. Because I said, you texted like, I'm going at 10 o'clock. I was like, ooh, okay.
10 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're just gonna jump in. I mean, there's a lot of things
Yes.
that we want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about: the characters, the
Mm-hmm.
music,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. And then
Yes.
I was floored by the sound design. So, do you want to just jump into the characters because we can do that?
Yeah.
Then we can
Yes.
sort of go,
Yes.
go,
Yes.
go.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to start with Jaafar, who played his uncle. I
Mhm.
mean, that boy, I don't care what anybody says, for him to be, I don't know if this is his first, like
It
this is
is.
his first. That man, that boy,
Mhm.
he danced his he he acted, he was
Acted.
the epitome. It was like he was gosh, I can't think of this word, but he possessed Michael in his characterizations, his nuances. Um he he was on point the whole time, and I believed him. And I have to be honest, I was like, how are they going to portray him with the wigs, or with the how they're going to do that? I mean, the makeup, the oh man, the costumes, or the wardrobe was on point. And I
Mhm.
think that he just embodied Michael, the good essence of him. That's what I take away from Jaafar, and you can't take anything from his
You,
performance.
you can't take anything. First off,
Oh,
there. in a lot of things, but the first time I ever heard it was about movies, this phrase of suspending your disbelief, being able to just be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Watching as soon as it started and we got to Jafar coming in, I was
Mm-hmm.
able to suspend my disbelief, and all I saw was the portrayal of Michael. There were only a
That's it.
few key places, but
Right.
he was Michael, and he
He
did
was.
a great job. Now,
He
not
did.
just I don't want people to think that he just did a good job presenting as Michael. He
Mhm.
did a great job acting. The subtleness of his uncle, he got that did not seem like he was
Oh,
a Michael Jackson impersonator.
no, 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 no. It was not forced. It was
Mm-mm.
not. It was just flowed out of him. I mean, but can you imagine, do you know that he watched his uncle all of his life?
All of his
So
life.
all of his life, he not mimicked, but oh gosh, I can't think of the right word, but he was Michael that day.
He was
And
Michael.
and acting and the compassion that Michael Jackson embodied, he brought to
You
the
know,
stage.
him.
It came to life. Yes.
Okay.
And that's Jafar. Um go.
So let me throw the next one out.
Okay. All righty. All right.
Joseph Domingo.
Hmm.
He, first off, I was floored by his characterization of Joseph
Mm-hmm.
Jackson. Now,
Mm-hmm.
none of us, well, at least I don't know Joseph Jackson or did not
Right.
know him personally. All we
Right.
knew is what we heard from the family,
Mm-hmm.
other people. But
Right.
he came in, and other things that we've seen on TV, he embodied what I imagined Joseph Jackson. And you know what was scary, Phil?
Yeah.
He portrayed Joseph Jackson in a way that I have seen in my life through
Uh,
other people. He, I know somebody, maybe not, I know somebody who is a Joseph Jackson.
I know. I know. And people that are on the receiving end of that ire or that type of discipline. And I know that
Yes.
he was in a certain culture at a certain time, of a certain generation, and um that culture in a black family is not is not it's not new to me. And I know that initially um I felt that he was troubled from the beginning, from whatever Joe
Joseph?
Jackson, yes, Joseph. I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
that he was troubled.
absolutely.
Just wouldn't, something was broken. And he, and I wrote into my notes while I was sitting in the theater that I need to know about him. I need to know about
Absolutely.
Catherine, just what it was in him. I know that he was a blue collar worker. And he did bring his family, you know, he was that disciplinarian and he knew what he saw in his boys. And
Well, well, the thing about the portrayal, and
uh-huh.
obviously the family had a lot to do with what we saw. They
Mhm.
weren't just harsh on him, and me looking through the eyes of a therapeutic lens, they gave him some depth. There was there were a couple of times where, oh, in the very beginning, where he was telling the kids, "Y'all don't want to be like me working this." So he, in a twisted way
Mhm.
where he had a
Mhm.
story, was
Mhm.
trying to get
Mhm.
his kids
Mhm.
to be different than he was. But
Right.
he didn't know how to do that in a
He-
way that would really build them up,
Right. Right. And empower them
empower.
to see further. And would you say that he was a visionary? Um, that he could see beyond I'm sure he could see beyond this
Oh,
moment.
mm-mm.
You know, no,
I
I
don't think
don't think
so.
so.
I
I
think
don't,
his
I,
vision
the,
was him. It was through his eyes.
you,
It was what it can be through me. That's a very I don't use this word lightly, but that's a very
hmm
narcissistic view of things. He
and,
saw himself through his children
hmm hmm
doing
hmm
greater
be
things.
doing greater things, and I could see that, as the movie progressed, it became just evident that he could not let it go. Whatever that narcissism, um, the way of doing he believed he was doing the right thing. He could not let it go, and it became evident, you know, just the tension. What I found most profound was the tension that everybody knew he was crossing lines, and
Everybody,
they
and
could.
nobody said nothing.
Nobody said anything. They
Nobody
they
said
did not
nothing.
have
They
a
didn't do
voice,
anything.
and Michael didn't have a voice,
No, he didn't.
for a long time.
He was
He just
afraid.
afraid.
Let me tell you,
Yes.
this particular movie set it up.
Mm,
It is at the crux of almost everything I talk to most of my clients about. It is that origin story. It's what you got. It's how they cultivated care, nurturing, and protection in you, and how you took
mhm,
your life. And they did a really good job of
mhm.
showing someone like Michael, who was insightful and emotional and empathetic,
Oh, emotive.
and
Yes.
how
Yes.
that crushing and the physical punishment just
Mhm, mhm.
caused him to be, but it also told him, I'm going to be different, Dan.
I'm gonna be different, and he had outlets. I mean, Michael, he had escape. It was probably escapism, just so he could deal with it. But that was Joseph Jackson. Was there another character that you wanted to mention? I have one, and
Who-
it is
Who's yours?
Catherine.
Oh yes, on my list. It's a must.
Catherine Catherine Jackson. Well, you go first. Catherine Jackson was.
First off,
I Okay, go
I,
ahead. Go ahead.
I am not a movie person. I I, I will watch
Okay.
movie. I,
Uh-huh.
so I haven't seen a lot of things that Nia Long was in, but I'm telling you, I all I was thinking about is there was a couple of times I was like, I always say this to people. I was like, can she just give me a hug?
Can she?
Can she just give me a hug?
Man,
She was Catherine. I don't know Catherine from a hole in the ground, but she embodied what I imagined their mother did.
right, right,
That silent
right.
power, that
That
silent power.
silent power, and when she spoke, it reverberated for even Joseph,
Mm,
he had to step
mhm,
back.
mhm, mhm.
When she said, "No, you're not
No.
doing that."
When she
No.
finally said, though,
When
no,
she finally said it, because she watched a lot she watched a lot, and um this this woman was still there for, she was like, mother's always going to be here for you, and she
and
was.
she had a story
And
too, because she
it,
grew up with
she
polio.
yeah, right, right. And I loved their special times together eating the ice cream. I really, that was an added emotional connection that with the audience that we got to see, and
That
I
we got to see.
believe that happened with them.
Yeah.
But Catherine, she was strong in the movie. Any other characters?
Yes.
Who you got? Who you got?
And I watch it because I think it's really important. We talk about sometimes when we don't have the things that we need in security, we often it shows up somewhere outside.
Mhm,
Teachers,
mhm.
coaches. Well, my favorite, and I would love just a movie about the two of them and what was going on. But I want, is it KeiLyn Durrel Jones portraying Bill Bray? That
Yes.
that relationship, I think, is probably. uh,
Oh.
I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I would imagine it was probably the thing that helped ground him. So Michael didn't go to outer space.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, I believe that, and I
Yeah.
would even go far. You said that would ground him.
Mhm.
Somehow he saved him
Yes, he
at
did.
times, and that's what I got from him. He knew, and it's just like everybody knew, but they just did not speak up about some things, and
Well, Bill
I,
Bray also, I think he sort of knew his place in that
oh,
family,
oh,
and
oh,
he knew Joseph. He knew if he
right.
said there was going to be a big thing, and likely, listen, I'm reading into his story. Likely, if
Yes,
he
yes.
said something, Joseph would fire him, and then Michael wouldn't have anybody.
Anybody, anybody. Right,
Anybody.
right,
You know,
right.
it's in a lot of the biopics and stuff like that. It
Mhm.
has been noted that he wrote Bill a letter saying, "Thank you for being a father. I don't know what would have happened if you were not
Mm,
around."
mm, mm, Yes, I got that from him portraying um, his not just more than a bodyguard or protector, but he really stepped in and filled that space for him. Um,
And
there were
the
so
last
just countless times that they just really took me there and drew me right into their relationship.
now the other person I'm going to mention is
Hmm.
a producer on the movie, so they
Okay.
could pump up their position just a little bit. But the Branca, John, the was it John Branca?
Uh-huh. Yes, that took him, the manager of the Beatles and I mean, not the Beatles, but
Who was
all
this
those people
lawyer? Uh-huh.
that he listed, during the movie that he had helped, and Michael said, "Let's talk." I
Let's talk.
want I want him, and because he just dove right in, and I'm not gonna give away, but he was, the other people around the table were trying to apologize for him first, and he said, "No, I want him." And
And the way I look at that is like there's a
mhm,
couple of things.
mm,
There's always going to be people around you who do a good job for you, but there are also opportunists. Okay, I'm not going there. I'm
right,
also
right.
know there's people that have been in my life and your life where you just see them and you go, there's something you just know. I got you. I know.
Mm, mhm, mhm,
I
mhm.
I get this.
Right,
And
right,
that could have been one of those things because Michael stayed with him for a very long time. I
right,
mean, he's
right.
still a part of the estate right now.
Wow, wow. Yes, that's he played a pivotal part
Pivotal.
in a pivotal in. I mean, and the storytelling, is there another character that you wanted to mention?
Mhm,
No, that's can we move to the storytelling? I
mhm.
think the story I loved it was called a text structure. So in school we teach different text structures, and it was sequential. So they
Yes.
started with you know uh I'm not 1964 or something, and they moved on and they ended at 1988, around in
Mhm,
there or something.
mhm.
But I loved the timeline text structure of the film, and there's so much more. I was like, there's got to be part two. It's got to be a
There's
part
got to
two.
be.
It has to be, to get the other half, of it. But the storytelling, I thought it was precise. I thought it was accurate. I mean, accurate, and I don't know anything for real, but I'm just, since
How
I'm not an
accurate it
expert on
was.
Michael Jackson, but what was portrayed was, it was accurate in the form of what we had been exposed to, um, as in the videos, and how, I mean, not the videos, but the performances and how impactful that they were, and just putting it all in order, and letting us know exactly what is shaping Michael into the person that he
He's gonna
is,
be.
that he was, yes, that he could be.
The thing that when we're talking about the sequence of it, um,
Hmm.
obviously they can't go over everything. The movie would be so long. But
Hmm.
where the piece that I love is that he met Quincy Jones on the set of The Wiz. So that was, in our life when we meet people, we don't even
Mhm.
know who they might be for us in the
Right.
future. And it was because of that is that
Mhm.
he gets into off the wall and all of these other things, right? And it was because of him meeting Quincy Jones that he met John Branca.
Just how things are lined up and aligned, it happens the way it should be, because we would not have the Off the Wall, and we would not have Rod Temperton, and man, when they got to okay, go ahead. I want to jump to Thriller. When they get to Thriller, I was just amazed. Number one, at the dancing,
Yeah.
at the choreography,
Mhm.
and the presentation, and the insightfulness of Michael Jackson when he said, "Let's pull back so we can see the feet."
Mhm.
And I was like, that he knew, because if we do not see the feet in that Thriller video, they were those people there was dancing like uh their life depended on it.
And
It
why did he say
was
you have to see the feet? Because
that's
of Fred Astaire.
right,
Because
right.
there was such escapism for him in so many movies that he was taught by these people, this is what you do. Let them see the feet. And because of that, to this
Mm,
day, people there is it in Brazil? I don't know where it's at, but I think it might be
mhm.
worldwide. People recreate the Thriller movie, the whole Thriller video, and they do it because they could see all the steps.
Because they can see all of the steps,
Mhm.
and just the storytelling, the timeline, the sequence, the beat it. Will you please talk about the beat it section of it? And I wanted to text you so bad during the movie and tell you they put this in there. they they actually put that in there, and
The
it
part
was
where all the
great.
gang members came together.
Yes, all
And
the
we had
gang.
y'all find out one of our shorts because we talked about this before,
Right.
but I thought it was really cool. Now, there's a couple of things they talk about him. They're showing Michael as being a peacemaker, but Michael was not stupid. He was very smart, and he did want to be a peacemaker. He didn't like a lot, and it
Mhm,
makes sense because he grew up with
mhm, mhm.
a
Oh,
bunch of
not
craziness.
peace. Yes, yeah.
But it was because of Bill Bray helped him get together uh,
Mhm.
folks on
Two sides.
two sides, and it was because of who he was that they could be in the same room,
Mhm. Because
and
of him. Yes.
because it was him. Now, the one thing that I wish that they would have done, and I was waiting
Mhm,
for, is
mhm,
they had all of them watching his choreography, which I loved watching, but I
mhm.
wish they would have shown him incorporating them
With
into
them
the
in.
video, which he did.
Right, right, and heard him briefly say something about, "I want you
Yeah.
in this," or something like that,
Mhm.
but they were dancing so good that they was dancing so good to recreate that.
To
So
recreate it.
so can you imagine what kind of power? I mean, everybody, I don't know about the movie theater you were sitting in, but everybody was vocal. They were like, yes, they were when that music was on point.
Phil,
And
I wanted more people to be vocal where I was. They was just watching, and
they was just watching.
I was like, "W- "You just watching with this music?
Nah,
Come on now."
oh man, everybody, we was having a party in that theater. And I mean, these ladies in front of me, they just didn't hold back at all. And I was there for it, for every part of it. When that music hit, it it is something about those Jackson beats that when it drops, it's like, oh, okay, let's do it.
Let's
And
do it. Is there a part of the timeline that you're drawn to? Another piece?
probably there's so many, man. Okay, so had Beat It, we had the Rod Temperton, we had the Rock With You, we had the
Oh,
performance for with the moonwalk performance
mhm.
on that was really, really impactful. Um, probably the end toward the end where he was with his brothers on stage doing the victory tour and all
Uh,
The Pepsi.
Oh,
Pepsi.
it's
Oh,
totally.
oh, I forgot.
They made you feel that.
That was that they that was so traumatic. Can you imagine what that
So traumatic.
happened? It was traumatic for him, and we got to see the
Say
narcissism,
it.
what is, I can't say, narcissistic,
Tendencies, at
whatever,
least.
of Joseph
Joseph.
Jackson.
Yes, you did. And I just
That
love the
was,
one I'm seeing it in my head when
yes.
he was asking, is he going to be able to perform again? And Catherine goes,
Uh, and everybody was in the theater. They were saying, "What? What?" Because, I mean, she was like, "Your son could have died,"
absolutely.
and I mean, the surgeon he was taken aback. Like, "What? Are
Yeah,
you kidding me? If it had, what if it had caught to his face or caught his, he said caught his clothes, it would have just went like that." And
that
I mean,
was scary.
that was
And
real
he was
scary
doing that to help
for
family,
for
Joseph,
family. And
for family.
I wrote down something. I mean, I wrote down this, and I know we know about the Jackson family, but
Mhm.
is loyalty to the family a lifetime sentence?
Nope.
And that's what I got from that Joseph was trying to put that on
Yeah.
Michael. Right. That it was just a lot. You have to see it for yourself, and you'll understand what we're saying. That is loyalty. He did it, but when he found his voice, and he was like, "This is it. This is."
Well, he did. This is a great example. They say
Mhm.
you have to do some things afraid. He was afraid. Remember, he said he told the heads of Epic, fire my daddy,
Fire him. That's
fire
what
him because
he
he couldn't
said.
do it.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
And
And then,
even at the end, when Vicky Victoria, he was like, "I'm not doing this anymore." He did it on stage. That's probably where he felt safest, and he still
right,
can do it, but he did it afraid.
he did it afraid. Do it afraid. I love that. I love that.
You got to do it afraid.
Do,
Um,
do it
here's
afraid.
here's another, and
Okay.
you know, I think they were strategic throughout the film. They did not pummel the memory of Joe Jackson. They didn't just make him villainous, but they highlighted all the way through. They did not let you forget. First off, from the very beginning, did none of them call him daddy. It was always Joseph from the very beginning, from everybody. And I don't know if you caught this. You probably did because you was watching just like me.
Mm,
Um, it was when right before he got off the wall, they were rehearsing, and Dad, of course, being an asshole to him, said, "Big nose." I caught it
yeah.
in that moment, and
Yeah.
then not too much a little bit later, he got
Longer.
after off the wall. He went and fixed his nose, and
Right.
it wasn't because he was. It was he already felt not good about himself.
Right. Right. And
It wasn't
Joseph knew.
enough. Mhm,
Right. And
mhm.
when he walked in, had him turn around, and he said that it was for his sinuses, or
Yeah, sinuses.
for his sinuses. You know, Joseph knew then that it was because of him berating him, and and bringing
That
all
was
the
the
big nose.
scene where I saw Joseph and I was like, I know who you are. I've seen you.
Oh,
I've
yes.
seen him
Hmm.
in church. I've, I've seen him uh, in family.
Mm,
I've seen
mm,
him
mm,
in
mm,
neighborhood.
mhm, mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
So I
And
don't know about white folks, but I do know black
and
folks have
yep,
seen
which I
Joseph.
yes, we have, and know them to
No,
this, yeah, and yeah. Um, what else, man? I thought the visuals, the shots that they took, the camera, it was just really appeasing all of it was crisp, clear, uh, color, just even with the animals at the
And the
at the
monkey.
compound, and the monkey, and I was like, "Is that CGI, or is that a real monkey in there?"
He really did have that many animals.
He did have that, and walking the llama was hilarious, and when when the monkey came and everybody came outside and they were just like, "What?"
And then the one
Mon
brother is like, he just goes back inside thinking like, that's Michael again. Let me go
That's
inside.
Michael. That
That's
is
Michael.
Michael again. Okay, so what do you think about them not really highlighting any of their stories, the brother stories or the sister story in it? And some other things about that we saw in what is the Jackson American Dream film movie that they had brought out. They brought out a lot of other personal things,
Yeah.
that they did not address, which I'm kind of glad that they didn't
Because
bring the underbelly
of it all,
of they just let's celebrate Michael Jackson.
well, I think
And
you just said it. That's the
yeah,
difference. That was about the Jackson family. This is about
mhm,
Michael.
it
And
was
it's
about
about
him.
it was about him. Okay, highlight.
Okay. Okay.
I like it appears, and as far as we know, it's true.
Mhm.
I just like how they showed the relationship with him and Latoya.
Right.
There was
Wasn't that
lightness
sweet?
there. You
Right.
could tell there was compatico there, and it was
Mhm, mhm.
and it mirrored the relationship that he had with his mom. So for me, I see that as he felt safe with her.
Right. With her,
And I'm not
yes.
saying that he didn't feel safe with his brothers, but also we have to remember there was a gigantic age difference between
Mhm,
the
mhm.
oldest brother and he. Well,
Right,
almost like 10 years or more.
right, right, and it was their relationship was not, really, delved into, but you could tell that they had a relationship and they were brothers,
Yeah. Yes.
um, and I think that Joseph wanted to keep that friction in between. I think he wanted to keep that friction
What
because
are you saying?
I think that tension, he wanted to keep that going on. That's why his boys, he wasn't talking about Michael per se. He was talking about the other boys.
Uh,
If as far as my understanding, when he said he needs, I'm worried about my boys and this and that. I don't think that he was talking about Michael because Michael
no.
had already kind of, just flew a higher. Um,
And he
I
was
think
worried
he
about
was
himself,
j- true, true,
right? And you
true,
just said something.
true.
One reason why I said, what did you just say? Because
Hmm.
one of there could be a lot of things, but one thing when there are narcissism traits, whether it's an official diagnosis or a lot of traits, is uh, especially in families, they need conflict to happen
Hmm. Hmm.
between the children, the siblings, because I keep you in conflict. Where do you come to? You come to me. But all of y'all can have some
Hmm.
conflict. So you
Hmm.
never
Hmm.
join up against
Which
me.
meek.
Because if y'all come against me, I'm going to lose.
Right. Even though you're the catalyst of it all,
Mhm.
it's you in the middle of it all.
Of it all.
Um, wow,
You
wow.
start all the stuff and then you stay
Mhm,
in the middle of it.
mhm. All of it, all of it. But I like, um, oh, Don King. Can we just talk about
That
Don
scene between
King?
the two of them, I didn't like either one of them, and I was drawn into both of them.
I was drawn into both of them. I was like, y'all some shady. I mean, and how did he get in? I know he got in because he was a promoter and,
Yeah.
promoted a lot of stuff. And he had credibility, and he could make things happen. He could move things no matter what it was just some undershady, some underhanded stuff. So
It
when
was
he
all
started
about what
talking
can I get? He
and just
saw the Jacksons, and it was
right,
about, and he did promote it, and he did
he
get
did,
Pepsi together, and they did make a lot
and
of money.
they did make a lot of money. They did. Oh man. And he thought Joseph thought that gravy train was gonna keep on rolling like that. I mean, but
Forever,
he did. But
forever.
how much is enough? Michael, and this is just my understanding that he wanted to have a greater impact, a global impact in
Yeah,
a different way,
yeah,
not for let his star shine, or that reference that he made, but it
mhm,
wasn't about what Joseph's idea of success
yeah,
was.
yeah.
It was completely different, and the film, it portrays that, and you get that from Michael, from him seeing the kids in the burn center with him.
Yes, and
You
donating
get to
money and all that
and
stuff.
donate. He was like, what are we getting for it? And
I meant to mention this before, and
yes.
I just want to say, I- seeing, although understanding how, as much as I can, of how he behaved and acted in his family, this movie more so than any other time helped me to have empathy for Joseph Jackson. So I have some empathy because, as you said, we know he has a story, and of the age group that he was in, we already know the time that he grew up. It was not easy.
No.
No excuses. We're not given any excuses
Mm-mm,
for your
mm-mm, mm-mm.
behavior, but I know what his experience might have been. So we know if he whooped, oh, we say whooped.
Oh,
If he
yes.
beat, we know he
Be
got beat
We know he did. Yes, he did. And
without a doubt.
without a doubt. Yeah, and I did have a tinge of compassion for him,
Mhm,
because I was like, he's hurting. He was hurt a lot or somewhere, and I have notes on my phone. I don't have it near me, but it
mhm.
was like what was going on with him, and
With him.
and
Mhm.
may he rest in peace.
S-
And you know,
can we
the,
get to the music?
let's get to the music. The
Okay.
music,
The
good
music. You said something that I wanted to address a little bit earlier because you were talking about the shots and the way the music was filmed. And so that is from that director Antoine Fuqua. And I was looking up something, and he has stayed, as far as I know, he has sort of stepped back. You can't see a lot from him about it. But the one thing that I did find, he said that he wanted he did not want to like super edit all of the music. So that's the reason why we get a lot of step back and almost like we're watching a concert, because he really wanted you to see what was going on there. And I really appreciate that. And because he did music videos and stuff like that, you could tell
Mhm.
that he appreciates the music and how they reproduce all of that old music, Phil.
I
I
don't
was
I don't know. Do you think that they reproduced it, or was that the original music?
Can I just tell you? Because I came out of and I had to do some research. So what they did, thank God for AI today, they went back because I was like, is that Michael Jackson singing? They went back to the old masters, used AI to pull his vocals off of it, and then they reproduced the music underneath it. Because if you listen to some of them old ABCs, that music underneath, they need to re-release it now because they reproduced that. And there's a nice little beat up underneath there that I like. So they pulled the stems and the strings out of that music,
Mhm, mhm.
and I love it. I,
I love it.
I love it.
I sat there, I didn't know that, that, they had used AI to do that,
Mhm.
because I just thought, listening to those hits and those licks and everything, I said, "They're using the original music," but they had players reproduce that. They
Mhm.
they
Keep the
were on point.
vocal and reproduce. Now, and the one thing that I thought, because I'm a singer, I'm listening.
Listen, I'm
And
listening.
And when they're in the Jackson 5, I heard the Jermaine part and I go like, this is the attention to detail. That the singer, because they found someone to reproduce his vocal.
Mhm.
They found somebody to embody Jermaine's sound. And I was like, because that sounds like Jermaine.
That sounded just like at the fair, was he singing at the fair?
In the fair,
Yes. Yes,
mhm.
yes, yes. It's just so please, if you are out there and you have gone to see this, please drop a comment and let us
Please,
know what you're thinking and join the conversation. This is just not one-sided. I'm so excited right now
right now.
about, this is really, really a great, great movie.
I
And
want to know everybody's favorite pieces and how
yes, yes.
how it affected them. There were
Mhm,
some parts of it, and I think it was towards the end. But there were a couple of places. One was music, got me a little
mhm.
bit emotional, and another was the scene. And I think it might have been around the time when he got burned.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
just seeing those shots of that and him, because we have seen that original footage. At
we
least I
have.
have.
Hmm.
Yes, of that happening, and it was emotional, and it just, yeah, and then Joseph's reaction to it just was like, man, that's not you, right? That's but it was. Um
So
yes.
what like to sum up? What are some of the points? Some of the things that were memorable to you, and then we're gonna because we
Yes.
did this impromptu. We're gonna get out of here, but
Dude, got it. Yes. I just think that they honored Michael Jackson in a real way, in a real authentic way, that we got to see an authentic side, because we have all seen the documentaries and the things um of the other side that they want us to take away from Michael
Mhm.
Jackson's life and his contribution to the world. And this really just focused on his who he was, as in the essence of him. And we got to see that. And he's been gone for 17 years. But he is still viable and still, I mean, I was just trying to think that this is on screens here domestically, but what about Paris and Germany and in China and Japan, and just
It's
he
already
was
the
there.
highest grossing
Oh,
debut
oh man. Oh man.
already.
I really have not looked at any number. I didn't want anything to cloud my perception and
Yeah.
about this, but that's my greatest takeaway, that
Okay.
they honored him just um in in the purest sense of him. And thank you, everybody that just contributed to this product, because it's great. It is
Okay.
great. What about you? What about our one here?
So I'm going to make a statement, then I'll give you my
Okay.
takeaways, and then we're going
All
to
right.
end. But for me, this is an example of how important it is for us to speak up when we see things.
Mm,
Everything is not okay. It's also important to, despite the, uh, the nature of this is about Michael, what it did show us, it showed you DV, it showed you abuse in a family that went on because someone had control, right? It it gives you an example. We don't know how fictionalized this is, but it gave you an example of how it can affect someone later in their life.
mhm,
We
mhm.
internalize these things and it manifests in a lot of different ways. But we just have to be careful of how we treat each other
Yes.
and our families and how we
Yes.
treat our children. Anyhow,
Yes.
that's that. I'm sorry, I'm preaching a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm left with, I'll just say the names again: Jaafar Jackson.
Mhm.
This was phenomenal. Domingo Coleman.
Yes.
Now, if you say, "Hey, we're gonna go watch this movie with Domingo
Uh-huh.
Coleman," and I'll probably
Mm-hmm.
say, "Okay, well, I'll go see it."
Okay.
Nia
Yes, I'm
Long,
in. Nia
I,
Long. Mm.
I'm down,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I want this person,
Mhm. Mhm.
KeiLyn Durrel
Mhm.
Jones. He
Mhm.
needs to
Mhm.
be in TV movies, and he needs more movies. Y'all, if y'all producers that can do it, give
To
him some love.
make it happen. Make it
Please
happen
make it happen.
because, and I mean, I'm sorry. I forgot Lorenz Tate as Barry Gordy.
Oh yes, I didn't even realize that was him.
Oh my gosh. That was good. That was great.
It
Just
was good
yeah.
because he also saw Michael and knew who Joseph was.
Right.
What is
Right.
that one thing he
Right.
says? You can
Oh,
come and talk to me anytime.
and he was like, "I got this," or something like, he was like, "I got this. You handle that over there. I got this."
Get out of here,
Wow.
Joe.
But yes, man.
Okay.
Thank you, man. I'm glad we did this today.
Well,
Yes.
everybody out there, we appreciate you being here as we're
Yes.
recapping Michael Jackson, the
Yes.
man in the
In the
mirror.
mirror.
In the mirror. You
Mhm.
know, it's interesting. This movie shows us that when music finally fades, we are left with the reality of a human life. Michael Jackson and each other. When the music fades in our life, the reality is we were human. We're complex, beautiful our lives can be. We're deeply flawed sometimes.
Mm.
And in Michael Jackson's case, he was profoundly lonely, which they showed in the movie. And this movie, it ended, at least in my view, on a triumphant high note, right? But the movie still raised questions about family, sacrifice, and the isolating weight of that celebrity and greatness brings with you, right? After you leave the stage. So we invite you all to leave your comments below, wherever below is, Facebook,
Mhm.
YouTube, Instagram, and join us in this journey as we talk about everything and think about who your safe harbors are, and think about this. What are the songs that instantly transport you back to a specific moment in time, period, or when we're thinking about Michael? And we just appreciate you being here with us, and come back and see us again. That's all I got to say.
That's all. That's
That's all
enough,
I got
man.
to say.
What do you have to say?